This is my beginner's guide on how to get started in your very own Airbnb business. My name's Charles Rashid, and I did over $750,000 in short-term rental revenue last year alone. I own and operate multiple businesses over multiple industries. I've been investing in real estate for over 30 years, and I've been in the hotel business for over 30 years. And that's what differentiates me from everyone else. I have the experience in real estate and also the experience in the hotel business. And Airbnb is a combination of those two investments. So today, I'm gonna walk you through step by step how I got started, why it's not too late to get started today, and why you haven't missed the boat, how exactly to set up your own Airbnb business, how to develop systems and processes so it's not tedious and it becomes automated for you, leveraging things like people and processes. And then lastly, how to maximize revenue. And this is what I've learned from being in the hotel business. If you stay till the very end, I'm gonna give you a free gift that'll help you fast track your progress. So stay tuned. Airbnb is one of the single biggest opportunities on the market today. Airbnb has over 5.6 million active listings in over 100,000 cities, and they have over 150 million active users looking for vacation rentals. Now you might think that you've missed the boat, it's too late for you, but I'm here to tell you there's no time better than today to get started. It used to be the barriers to entry to get in the hotel business were very high, but Airbnb has changed that. Now the average person can get into the hotel business. Airbnb allows you to build a hotel one room at a time. So how did I get started? Well, I have some friends in San Francisco and New York and Miami, and they had been telling me for years that they're making a killing with their Airbnbs. When they go on vacation, they put their place on Airbnb and they rent it, and they're making money while they travel. And I just kind of blew it off. I'm like, that's great for you, but it's not gonna work in a small town. So I just let it go. I was naive and I was scared. Until one day, my mother-in-law got broken into at her house. And my wife and I started talking about we should buy her a house, get her closer to us, closer to her grandkids. So we bought this house, we remodeled it, and then we show it to her and we said, here, it's for you. And she said, I'll be damned if I'm gonna have a thief run me out of my home. I'm not moving. So we tried to sell the house for a month or two and it didn't sell. So we do what we do best, rent it long term. But I couldn't help but think this might be a great Airbnb. This is the perfect time to see if it actually works. It's close to a hospital, close to an airport, close to a cancer center, and close to a university. So right then and there, I decided I'm gonna get it on Airbnb, and this is gonna be our first trial to see if Airbnb will work. So that night, I go home and I do some research. I look at every listing in my area, all the competition. I look at the photos. I read all the descriptions. Why are some places renting for more money than others? Why are some renting all the time and others aren't? I set up my profile, which is free to do. It doesn't cost you a thing until you either rent to a guest and then you get the money the next day and they charge you 3%, or if you're a traveler, when you rent a place, they charge you 12%. So there's no harm, no foul in signing up and setting it up just to see. Well, you might be thinking, Charles, that's great, but I don't have a place that I can rent on Airbnb. So start with what you already have. Do you have a couch? Do you have a spare bedroom in your apartment or your house? Or the other way to do it is go rent an apartment that you have the express written consent to sublease that property short term. It's called rental arbitrage. So you rent the apartment, you have the right to furnish it and rent it on Airbnb. That's the best way to get started without any money if you don't have something already. Then you furnish the property. So what I did, I took some stuff from my parents that they weren't using anymore. I went to yard sales, Craigslist, OfferUp, Letgo, estate sales, Goodwill. There's tons of places that you can find things to furnish an apartment. So the best part about Airbnb, it's so flexible. You can do anything you want. People from all lifestyles, all economic levels use Airbnb. It may be someone that just needs a roof over their head, hot water, and a comfy bed, to somebody that wants to rent a $25,000 a week beachfront mansion. Everything in between. So it can be catered to what you want, what fits your needs, and those guests that are looking for what you have will book your place. I can assure you that. So once I had my place staged and furnished, I took some photos. And I remember when I was looking through the competition, the ones that seemed to get more money and rent more often were very appealing. They had photos on the wall. They had splashes of color. They had comfortable looking settings. They were inviting. The homes looked comfortable. And remember, pictures speak 1,000 words. And when people are looking for your listing, they're gonna look at the pictures first. So you want great quality photos and you want your place to be inviting. So then you publish your listing and just review it. So what I did, again, I said I was nervous. Before my first guest, I decided to pretend like I was the guest checking in. So I went on Google Maps and I put in the address. Does it come up? I punched the key code into the keypad. Does it work? I pretend like I'm carrying my luggage into the bedroom. Is there a place for me to put the luggage? Is there a place for me to charge my iPhone? I lay on the bed. Is it comfortable? I go pretend like I'm taking a shower. Is there a place to hang my towels? Is there a place to put my toothbrush? I go into the kitchen. I want to make some coffee. I forgot the mugs. I forgot a trash can. Then I go sit down on the couch. Does the TV work? I walk through my entire day as if I'm a guest, making notes on what I need to fix on my listing. Inevitably, you're gonna forget something, but this will save you hours of time. So once you have your listing up, you just sit back and wait for your first guest. Then you get paid the next day after they check in. This is a perfect time. I noticed you guys have not subscribed to my channel. If you like this content, please subscribe. You'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So the second thing I want to talk to you about is how to develop a system and a process so that you don't have to do everything. And I'll give you one example of what I did. So I went through and cleaned my house the first time, making careful notes of what to do in what process, in what order. And the reason I did this is the last thing I wanted was someone that I was paying by the hour to be sitting and watching TV waiting for the washer and dryer to finish. So here's a quick rundown of how this checklist works. So when the cleaner comes in, they strip the sheets, get all the dirty towels, and they put them in the washer and start it. And then they go into the kitchen and take all the dishes and put them in the dishwasher, anything that's dirty. Then they wipe down the counters and clean the kitchen and sanitize it. Then they go into each bathroom. They may look clean, but just because they look clean doesn't mean they are clean. So disinfect and sanitize everything, wiping down all the surfaces and making sure that it's clean. And then they vacuum the entire place, mop the floors, check all the windows and doors for security reasons, then go to the washer, switch it to the dryer, unload the dishwasher, put the dishes away, make the beds after that, make sure that everything is in its place, check all the stocked items like is there enough coffee? Is there enough toilet paper? Is there enough shampoo? Is there paper towels and that kind of thing? Anything that you offer, make sure that it's stocked. And that's really it. So then once that process is developed, I have a checklist that my cleaners go through and they check everything off so they don't miss any. The next thing I do is I automate the entire process. I don't even go set the place up anymore. I have a checklist of how to set everything up and I pay somebody to do it. This way I can do it in every city that I want, and all I have to do is find a maintenance person and a cleaner. I can manage it from a distance. I have virtual assistants that manage the calendars, but you do need somebody in case the toilet leaks and somebody needs to clean the place. So that's how you leverage people and processes. The last thing I do is maximize revenue. What I learned from the hotel industry is supply and demand. When your place is in high supply, you need to lower your rate. When your place is in high demand, you need to increase your rate. It's called revenue management. So what I do at the beginning of every year is I go through my calendar, I look at every holiday, every event in my area, and I raise the price for those times. And then I watch my calendar. If something is not booking, then I drop the price. Maybe I look about 2 weeks out, and if it's not rented, then I start dropping the price. And I'll go down to as little as maybe on a $139 apartment, I might go down to $49, because $49 a night for a 2 or 3 night minimum plus a $79 or $99 cleaning fee is better than nothing. I already have all the fixed costs. I already have either the mortgage or the rent. I already have the utilities. So I might as well get something. This does 2 things. It helps me maximize my revenue, but it also leaves my calendar wide open at a high price in case somebody wants to come in and rent it for a month at a time. I'm looking for the least amount of turnover with the most amount of revenue. That is it. It is not complicated. You can make a fortune with short-term rentals. I encourage you to get started today. Real estate is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it is a build wealth and get wealthy over time. Okay, to recap, the first thing is get started. I was scared to death the first time, my first Airbnb, but once I started, I am so glad that I did. You might be thinking I'm in a small town and it won't work. Hey, there may not be many options in a small town. Somebody coming, visiting their elderly parents, they don't have a place to stay. Maybe their parents' house isn't big enough. So small towns can be an advantage. Maybe you have a great attraction near you. So don't have small thinking like me. Don't let fear overcome you. Get started today. Either start with something you already have or go get an apartment or a house that you can rent and have the express written consent to sublease it. Then stage the property. Right now, I love buying all my furniture brand new. I go to a furniture store and I always take advantage of those 3 years or 36 months, same as cash. So I can furnish a whole house for $4,000 or $5,000 and then I'm paying $100 to $150 a month instead of coming up with all that cash up front. Once you have your place staged, take great photos because the photos tell your story. Be honest and upfront about everything in your description. Tell all the negatives in your description plus the positives, but you don't want your guests to be surprised by something negative that leaves a bad taste in their mouth. Then develop systems and processes that can be duplicated over and over again without you having to physically do it. And then lastly, maximize your revenue with revenue management. Find out what the supply and the demand is and watch your calendar. Too many people set their price and forget it. So during the peak season, they're the first ones to rent and they're leaving money on the table. And during the slow season, they're the last ones to rent because they're the highest. So manage your calendar wisely. Thanks for watching and get started today. So if you missed something or you want more detail about something specifically, I have very in-depth, detailed videos on YouTube. I'll either put them in the description below or a card somewhere on the screen.